to admit I was pretty scared going in. I was pretty nervous what it would look like to process 65 chickens with 2 adults and 4 kids. Hey guys, this is Megan from You Goat to Be Kidding. This week we are out here with the goats and we're just kind of touching base with a bunch of different things going on here on our farm. We don't have anything too big, but we do have some goats that are officially bred. Some I'm not sure about and some that I'm still waiting on. So let me tell you about the goats, and then we've got some other stuff going on too, and I'll give you a little sneak peek into what all is happening here on our farm in Middle Tennessee. So the goats have moved out back here. This is our area. Near the back, technically there is a pond right over here, but it is dry all summer. It's like a wet weather winter pond. And then our property goes back. This is the area we cleared. Oh goodness, that's 1.5 years ago now. And so this whole so the tree line here would be our property line, but this whole opening and it wraps around back, that is all totally cleared. We did not have access to that at all, which is crazy. And so it's cool to see it growing up and the grass coming in and changing. But here are our ladies. So Tansy here is the one that I still don't know. It is highly possible that she was bred. Let me see if I can show her other side. It is usually a goat's right side that you can tell when babies are starting to form. Their left side, which would be over here, is lunch, but their right side over here would be babies. And I did miscalculate the date. The last time I talked about her, I said back in September. Nope, timeline. This is the very beginning of October. I said that she was 3 months at the very, very beginning of September, but she would actually just be hitting 3 months pregnant now. And I can't tell. I have been trying to take all the mamas and check with the buck to see if they are in heat. And Tansy has not gone into heat that I can tell, so that's encouraging. But Miss Cedar here, we did breed her. She is officially pregnant, and so is Wisteria. That is the all white goat in the back there. And so our countdown has begun. I am still waiting on Ivy. I saw Ivy go into heat a few weeks ago. I haven't actually looked at the calendar to mark when that 3 weeks would be, but I did write it down. And so she has not come back into heat again, but she should be very close. And Maple out there, man, I have been checking her every day. I just walk Oak over. Yeah, I pull Oak out and bring him up to them, or I take her over there. And she's close. She's really close. And if for some reason she does not go into heat, it is possible that she might have gotten bred when all of the goats got out a few weeks ago. So, or I guess it'd be a few months ago now. So I will have to be keeping my eye on that. It's a little frustrating to not be sure. But that's kind of life with livestock. You do the best you can. We try to do the best we can to make sure that they're not getting bred when they're not supposed to be. But sometimes things happen that you don't plan on. So I love seeing them out here in the tall grass. They like this weedy pasture way more than they like our front pasture, which is much more predominantly just grass. They can hide in the weeds. Now this tall yellow one, this is yellow crown beard. It's actually pretty good when it's lower. I think it has a pretty high protein content, but as soon as it gets big, they don't like to eat it anymore. So I want to walk up and actually show you part of the land that was cleared, just because it's been a while since we've done an update on what it looks like. And this is the very beginning of fall, so everything kind of looks different now. But I walked up here a little bit. I'm near the pond, so I'm going to turn the camera around and show you how it's going. It's looking pretty good. Okay, so this is our little pond here, and I'll walk up here. It is all dry, but this whole area is actually looking like a pasture now. Now it is still pretty spotty. It's not very thick. It's definitely weeds, but it is growing something. There is stuff out here. We might actually have to try to get the goats out here to help fertilize the field with their manure. And this ridge here looks really tall because it must have been the original bank of the pond that kind of comes here. And so it's too steep for the tractor or the mower. So we might have to come stick the goats around it and see if they eat any of that. But this here you can see is our dried out pond. We would love to be able to come dig this out and maybe put pigs on it or something and work on this. It just is hard. There's always a million projects. Damien was able to get in and bush hog some of the little saplings that were all around. So there used to be all sorts of little saplings right around the edge here, and he cleared a bunch of those out. And even here, this is all cleared out as well. So it's looking pretty cool in here. We just need to, I don't know, maybe just rent a mini X or something, or a skid steer. I'm not sure what to do, and try to dig some of this out. All right, so behind me now is up the hill. And again, all of this used to be as thick and impossible to get through as some of this stuff here. This is behind the pond here, and there's big gullies, so we didn't have all of that cleared. But this space is starting to look really good. It's getting a lot thicker. It is still mostly undesirable. The goats don't love it in here, but actually right now it's probably looking better than it has all year in terms of actual possibilities for the goats to get some food in here. So I think we'll actually end up moving them back along here and getting them through this area, which is just so cool to have an area that was unusable before, and now we're turning some grass into milk for our family. And that's pretty cool. The biggest thing that happened this week is that we are done with chickens. We have officially processed our last batch of 2024, and that is super exciting. So these are our meat chicken tractors. They're all tucked up here under our hay barn, and they are put away for the season, and that's just a huge relief to be done with that. I'm so thankful that we're able to do that, to raise our own chicken and process it here on farm. It's super cool, but it is a lot of work. And so from the raising of them every day to the actual processing day, it is a ton of work. And so when we're done, we are very glad to be done. But this weekend was actually pretty special. This is our 4th year, and I calculated somewhere between our 14th and 15th time helping process chickens, either our own or for friends. And this is actually the very first time that we as a family did it all alone. We have always had help or had people come that wanted to learn how to do it, or we've been helping someone else by bringing our equipment. But this is the first time that the 6 of us did it all on our own, and it was actually really special. I have to admit, I was pretty scared going in. I was pretty nervous what it would look like to process 65 chickens with 2 adults and 4 kids. And I wasn't sure how long it was going to take. I wasn't sure how hard it was going to be. I knew we knew what we were doing, but it still can make for a really long day. So we kind of just went in, we prepped the kids. The kids pretty much all have a job. One of the kids has taken over the kill station the last several times anyway. So our oldest was on the kill station, and actually kind of in age order, the next one does the scalder. And having an electric scalder this year made a tremendous difference to our processing times. That was a huge help in the tool department. Our oldest daughter, she ran the plucker, and then our youngest was responsible for getting the chickens to our oldest for the killing. And they just did such an awesome job of working together, doing the tasks that needed to be done, and then helping whenever they weren't doing something. And so my daughter, who was plucking the chickens, she would bring them to the table where Damien and I did all the eviscerating. And so she would make sure we had 1 extra chicken to work on next, but then she would slow everybody down so we didn't have a bunch of chickens coming faster than we could work on them and just sitting there. And they jumped in to help, kind of pull off feathers that weren't getting out of the plucker, because that slowed us down a lot. And the bigger kids helped the youngest one if she was having trouble getting the chickens to the kill cones. And they did such an awesome job working together, working hard, and just being as a family. And then Damien and I were able to eviscerate, and actually we're pretty quick at it. We've done it enough times that we're not too shabby. We are no Joel Salatin. He can do it while talking in under a minute. That's not us. But I think we figured it out that it took our family about the same time to do 65 chickens as it normally takes a group of us to do 75 chickens. It was about 3 hours start to finish on the processing. We didn't take perfect record. I'm not sure exactly when we started, but by the time the water was hot and we got the first chicken going, to the time we were done with the last one into the cooler, it was maybe a little over 3 hours. And that's about what it takes us with a whole group too. And that was just so cool. It was so rewarding to be done and come in and just know that, like, hey, we pulled off this feat that felt not impossible, because I knew we could do it. I knew we had enough experience that we could do it, but we pulled it off well. We did a good job and we did it quickly, and that was just so cool. It was really cool as a family to just be proud of our kids and to encourage them and just kind of talk up how great they did, and to know that, like, hey, we have worked hard on developing this skill, and we can do it. We can do it. We love the community aspect. We love having friends over to help. Often we trade their labor for chickens, and I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to help. And we have had the opportunity to teach a bunch of people how to process chickens, and that's been really cool to help the community, people that want to learn. And many of the people that have come and learned from us have gone off and done their own chickens, and that's super cool. I love that too. I think next year we're actually going to change our format a little bit. I think we might actually host workshops and actually invite people in to come and experience how to do that, learn how to do it, and actually be able to take a chicken home as well. And that will be a cool addition to our farm, because it's been something that we've really enjoyed, and I think it can help people out, and I think there's people that want to know. So we will be looking to do those. If you happen to be local and you want to learn how to do chickens, let me know. Hit me up. But yes, we are done with meat chickens for 2024, and that is the biggest accomplishment. We're so excited. It kind of signals the start of rest to the start of winter. We do actually have a few big projects on the horizon. We actually are supposed to be getting a greenhouse, a high tunnel from a neighbor, and we had to figure out how to make that happen. And that is pretty much on the table now before it gets really cold. But all the big summer projects are done. And now it's just kind of managing the end of the garden and managing the end of milking season, or maybe the beginning. If Tansy is really pregnant, that would be so cool. But I'm still fingers crossed on her. I genuinely don't know. Anyway, we do have one more fun little surprise that I want to show you. It's not really that surprising because they multiply frequently, and you'll probably figure out what I'm talking about in a minute. But let me show you our cute new additions to the farm. There are 6 of them, and then hopefully there won't be any future ones. We've got to work out the logistics on that. So let me go show you who is hanging out in our garage. Alrighty, here's our fun surprise. Mama had 6 kittens just the other day. They are 1 day old, two days old today. There are 6 little ones. They're so cute. She's such a good mama. But obviously we're gonna have to try to prevent this. But we had an easy time getting rid of the other ones, finding other homes for them. We did keep Mr. Buster. He's still here. But these guys are so cute. There's 2 all gray ones, and 2 kind of light stripy ones, and 2 kind of brown stripy ones. But they're so sweet. Kittens are so fun.